In Florence, the tradition of art and craftsmanship continues to this day. Here's our Martha Teichner.
We're here next to the Leonardo da Vinci worker.
You heard right. Leonardo da Vinci designed this machine for winding thread. There's a copy of his sketch.
He designed it in the end of the 1400, and then this was made in the 1600.
This very machine, still in use 400 years later.
Made directly from these machines, you have these beautiful braids.
Filippo Ricci is CEO of silkmaker Antico Settificio Fiorentino.
We actually, now entering into the historical part, if I can say that.
Okay.
It's the 1700 looms.
In 1786, the city's most prominent families handed over their personal looms so Florence could go into business producing the luxury fabrics its aristocrats wore.
This is the Ermisino. It's a special kind of a Renaissance taffeta. It changes the color according to how the light hits the fabric.
Wow.
And this you have green and red combined.
This goes back to the Renaissance.
Yes. And it has a special sound.
Yeah, I love the sound. A city of businessmen, bankers. Florence was always into conspicuous consumption. Just look at its art and the gold jewelry sold on the Ponte Vecchio.
Originally, it was a place for selling fish and meat.
Elaine Ruffalo is an American Renaissance art historian who lives in Florence.
When the Medici became Grand Dukes of the city, they don't like the smell of all that fish and meat. And so they changed the function of the bridge to the place for the goldsmiths. And it has had gold shops on this bridge since 1565.
As bankers and then powerful political figures, the Medici were famous patrons of the arts and of artisans. For Florentine artisans today, the past is the present.
Ops, la si parla e vola l'oro.
She said, talking makes the gold fly.
Restorer Stefania Martelli uses the same techniques, the same tools, the same gold as gilders working for the Medici.
Welcome to the Chapel of the Princes.
The Florence tourists' visit is one big display of Medici taste.
This is all inlaid stone?
All beautiful inlaid stone.
It's called pietra dura. The words mean hard stone. You could be fooled into thinking this is paint, but it's not. Explain what we have here.
It's a stone world.
Elio De Filippis heads PT Mosaici,
These are made today by us.
a workshop creating pietra dura almost exactly the way it was done during the Renaissance.
This is going to be this part here.
The artistry is in searching thousands of stones
This is the lapis lazuli.
for the perfect color and shading, then cutting and fitting the pieces together like an intricate puzzle.
The subtlety and the variation of color.
Yeah.
It's slow, painstaking work. Elio's sons are learning how to do it, but
When I started, we had several workshops in town. I would say between 25 and 30.
and now?
Only 3 left.
The good news, there are still nearly 500 traditional artisan workshops in Florence. The bad news, that's 75 fewer than 10 years ago.
It's a very, very old technique.
Maria Giannini is the 6th generation in her family to make marbleized paper. Once used in bookbinding, now this is more of a beautiful novelty for tourists. But she hangs in there, making one sheet at a time, because for her, for so many of the artisans of Florence, it's about passion.
It's very important. It's a satisfaction, and it's also to give people a piece of my art and my history as well. So it is important because I live something.
That is amazing.
Yes, it's magic.